Welcome back to my channel and a very special welcome if you're new here. My name is Jen and this is Jen Clayton Beauty. We do everything beauty and makeup, and that includes testing new makeup. A few weeks ago, I unboxed my first mystery box of 2025, the Colourpop Valentine's Day mystery box. And when I unboxed that, I let you know that any of the makeup I didn't already own or that I hadn't tried out already would be put into a testing new makeup, and that is what we are doing today. We're going to be trying out all of the Colourpop products. Now, I believe most of these are still available on the Colourpop website. The mystery box is not, but the individual products are. So I will link them down below for you, as well as the discount code, the one that I use whenever I place a Colourpop order. So if you're excited, give this video a big thumbs up. Subscribe if you're not, turn your bell on, because I upload lots and lots of new videos every single week. Along with all of the products we test out today, there'll also be my favorite beauty subscription boxes, all of the other makeup that I'm wearing in today's video, and come follow me over on TikTok for more beauty and makeup, all down in that description box. So let's talk about the products we're testing out today. I'll zoom you in and we'll get started. So we have a lot of lippies. So in the mystery box, I actually received 4 lip products. And when I unboxed it, I said, I think lip products are the cheapest for brands to make. That's why we get so many in mystery boxes, subscription boxes. So we're gonna lip swatch all 4 of the Colourpop lippies that I received in the mystery box. I also received the brand new No Filter Setting Spray. This is new to the Colourpop line. I'm very, very excited about this. It is a setting spray on my radar, on my list to try out. And then I received a powder blush from the 11/11 collection, and this is the Claim It Powder Blush. This is really beautiful. It's a neutral pinky orange blush, definitely more on the neutral side, so it'll pair with just about anything. The formula of this seems really nice. The packaging is really nice, so we're gonna test that out. And then last but not least, I have the Aura and Out little 9-pan palette. Now this, I think, is an older palette. I don't even think they make these plastic components anymore. This is a beautiful palette. I will say when I swatched it, it's definitely older as far as pressed glitter formula goes. This is the old, just chunky craft store pressed glitter that I hate from Colourpop. So I'm glad that they no longer make their pressed glitters that way. I will most likely not be putting that on my eyes, but we are going to test out the Aura and Out palette. The rest of the palette swatched really nicely. So let me zoom you on in and let's get started. So I've already done all of my base makeup. Like I said, all of my makeup that I'm wearing today will be down in the description box, but I did not do blush because we're gonna test out the Claim It blush from the 11/11 collection. Like I said, it's just a really pretty neutral blush. So I'm going to pick that up on my brush. Oh, that's actually really pretty. It's even a little more peachy than I expected, but I really, really like the shade. That is really, really beautiful. Again, this is the Claim It from the 11/11 collection. Love it. I think it's a beautiful neutral shade. And then for my highlighter, she's an oldie but a goodie. This is from the Hocus Pocus 2 collection, the Find the Book highlighter. I'm going to use this because it has a little bit of a green shift to it. And since our eyeshadow palette has greens, I think this is going to pair beautifully. Picking that up on my highlighter brush. Isn't that pretty? This is one of my favorite highlighters that Colourpop has put out. I do not like the packaging. The packaging is really large. It's hard to open, it's hard to store, but the highlighter, look at that. Absolutely beautiful. Let's test out the setting spray. I'm so excited about this. When I unboxed the mystery box, I'll link that video if you missed it. I was talking about how this is a new product to the Colourpop line. I also love a setting spray that gives you that filtered effect. I want to smell it. Ooh, it has kind of a fruity, fresh scent to it. Let's test out the sprayer. I like to see what the type of mist is that it's going to deliver. The mister is nice on that. As I spray it though, it definitely to me smells more like bubble gum. I thought it was more of a fruity scent, but it's a bubblegum scent. It smells really, really good. The sprayer is perfect. It's not super aggressive. It's not super fine. Really, really nice spray. Smells incredible. I can actually still smell that really yummy bubblegum scent. Love the scent of this. Let me let this sink into the skin a little bit. I always set my face a second time once I've completed all of my makeup. So let's create an eye look with the Aura and Out palette before my lips get lots of love swatching those 4 lip products. I have already primed my eyes, as always, with my MAC Paint Pot and Painterly. So I'm going to start with this kind of chartreuse green shade in the middle called Fresh Cut. And I'm going to buff that, whoa, that is pigmented, into my crease, a little bit onto my lid, and then a little bit above my crease, so when my eyes are open, we can still see this beautiful shade. Okay, Colourpop, that is very, very pigmented. I will say it is kind of powdery, so make sure you tap your brush off. I'm afraid I would get quite a bit of fallout if I didn't, but it's very, very pigmented. It's going on beautifully. It's blending out beautifully. It's just definitely powdery. The one thing I will say about this palette is we don't have a lot of depth in the mattes. We do not have a deepening up shade. I mean, our darkest shade is this orange, which honestly is more like a mid-tone matte. And then our darkest shimmer, which I wouldn't want to use a shimmer in the outer corner. So by default, I'm going to go ahead and use the mid-tone, deepest orange shade in the palette. And that is called Solar Hour. Again, picking that up on a little bit more dense brush and then tapping that in onto the outer corner. Yeah, this is definitely not deep enough to add any depth to that outer corner. Okay, so that's a no. That's definitely not going to work. I don't have another option of a shade to add depth. So what I'm going to do by default, I don't want to bring in another palette. I just want to focus on this one, is I'm going to just continue to try to build up that orange by tapping it onto the outer portion of my eye. Just enough to at least get a little bit of color payoff. This shade also very, very, very powdery. I think this is as good as it's gonna get for depth. This is definitely not my favorite when it comes to a cohesive palette. I would have to bring in another palette to get the depth that I typically would want, what I would want in the future if I use this palette again. But let me go ahead and grab some NYX glitter glue, pop it on my lids, and let's try out the shimmers. I'm actually going to start with brush application method so that I'm going to try to pack this shimmer in this outer portion of my lid close to that orange, hoping to bring in just a little bit more depth. I'm going to use the chartreuse shimmer called Healing Heart. And I'm going to just pack that right next to that orange shade in the outer portion of my lid, just staying on the outer about third. Actually a really, really beautiful shimmer. And then I'm going to go in with a brush again into Soul Sister, which is the minty green shimmer. And I'm going to place that right next to that, leaving just the inner portion of my lid open. So that shade's not picking up that well on a brush. Oh, it's so pretty though. So I'm going to use my finger. There we go. Look at the difference just using my finger for the shimmer. Honestly, I prefer my finger for shimmers anyways. And then I'm going to pick up the only other shimmer aside from the pressed glitter, which I will not be using, called New Age. And I'm going to, with the brush, tap that on the inner portion of my lid. Ooh, that's really, really pretty too. And then I'm going to quickly just go back in the orange and just tap again, just on the outer portion next to the shimmer shades. It's definitely not giving me the depth that I would want in my outer corner, but at least I'll have a little bit of something in the outer corner. And then back into the first matte Fresh Cut. I'm going to buff that on my lower lash line. Then I'm also going to pick up this matte here called Vibes, and this kind of peachy matte. They're a matte with a shimmer. So I'm going to pick up Vibes and kind of buff that on top of my lower lash line to bring in a little bit of the blue. We definitely have a very light, interesting look. Definitely interesting. Let me go ahead and do some liner and mascara, and I'll be back and we'll lip swatch the 4 lip products. All right, here is the completed eye look. Once I added liner, once I added mascara, I like it a lot better. I was a little nervous. I was thinking it was very, very light, but once I added everything on, I think it actually looks really, really good. I definitely have some thoughts on the palette, but I am going to set my face one more time now that I've done all of my Complexion products with the exception of my lips. I really like the scent of that setting spray. It smells like delicious bubble gum. Let me wipe my lips off. I did have a little bit of lip balm on. I'm going to save the lip product that I think I'm going to wear today for the end. So first, let's test out from the 1111 collection. We have a Luxe Bullet Lip in the shade Digit. So we're gonna test this one out first. Beautiful rose gold packaging. And I actually really like the color. It's just this nice kind of purpley leaning brown. It feels very creamy. No smell. Definitely different than I was expecting. I thought it was going to be this rich brown, and it's definitely a little bit more subtle. I will say though that it pairs really nice with the blush, and these are both from the same collection. I actually really like this. This is a lippy I will wear a lot just because it's very, very neutral. So this is from the 1111 collection, the Luxe Lippy Digits. All right, wiping that off. We're gonna test out the So Glassy Lip in the shade Player 1. Now this is just a gloss, so it looks like just a gold leaning kind of sparkly gloss. Whenever I do a little bit more bold, intense eye look, I do like to do just a gloss on my lips. Ooh, it smells like cinnamon cereal, like Cinnamon Toast Crunch cereal. Ooh. A little bit thicker formula, but I really like how it gave my lips but glossy, and it looks pretty sparkly in the tube, but on my lips it's not resonating as sparkle, more just a really pretty gloss. Ooh, I really like this. I honestly would have I may have even chose this to wear today, but I really like the shade. It's not sticky. It feels very nice, very hydrating on the lips. So again, this is the So Glassy Lip Gloss in the shade Player 1. Oh, I don't even want to wipe it off. It feels really nice. Next up is a Luxe Liquid Lipstick in the shade Heads Up, which is a very, very neutral pink, and I really like this formula. This is not a dry like the desert liquid lipstick, so I'm excited to see this color. Doesn't have a scent. This feels very, very creamy upon application. I can still kind of smush my lips together. I'm going to let it dry down a little bit. I do really like the color. It is just a neutral pink, a very nude pink, an everyday wear type of color. So it's been a few minutes, and where it's dried down as we're going to get with this product. You can see I can still kind of move my lips around, which I very much appreciate. I will say that it's not a lot of color payoff. I feel like I can still kind of see my lips through it. Definitely a My Lips But Better shade. I do like the formula because it's not so dry, and it is a really pretty color. So again, this is the Luxe Liquid Lipstick in the shade Heads Up. Right, last time of wiping my poor little lips off. And by the way, that came off really easy. It reminds me more of a bullet lip or a soft matte cream, rather than a typical liquid lipstick. And then what I wanna wear on my lips today is from the Valentine's Day collection from last year. This is the Ultra Glossy Lip in the shade One Kiss. Now this is one of my favorite Colourpop formulas, and I just love the pink color of this. It is a glossy lippy. It's got a little bit of shimmer to it. I just think it's going to pair really nice with my eye look. It has a tiny faint fruity scent. Oh yeah, this is really pretty. Now I'm smelling kind of vanilla too. It smells really good. All right, I really like this. This is my favorite in this little try on of lip products. And again, this is the Ultra Glossy Lip in One Kiss. It feels so good. I love this formula. No glitter particles at all, but it gives you a beautiful kind of juicy gloss to your lips. Really, really like this. This is definitely what I want to wear all day today. So this is the One Kiss Ultra Glossy Lip. So let me go ahead and get ready for the day. I just finished my workout, had a healthy breakfast. My husband and I are heading out to our new house a little bit later today. So let me get dressed, ready for the day, and I'll be back and we'll talk all about this full Colourpop testing new makeup. So here is the completed look for this testing new makeup, all Colourpop. Let's go over some thoughts. Let's go ahead and start with the blush. I love this blush color. I can see myself reaching for this a lot just because it's a very, very, very neutral blush. It can be a little bit more pink leaning. It can be a little bit more nude leaning. I think it's beautiful on my skin tone. I think if you had a lighter skin tone, deeper skin tone, I feel like this would work for a lot of different skin tones out there. Beautiful formula, very pigmented, definitely a win. The setting spray I love. I had a feeling I was going to like this setting spray. It smells so incredibly good, and it definitely put this bit of a faux filter onto my skin. It looks like I have a filter on, and I do not have a filter on my camera. Really, really beautiful, smells absolutely amazing. Cannot wait to continue using this. My favorite lippy that we tried is the lip gloss that I'm wearing today, and then second to that is the other lip gloss. The other two are okay. I don't see myself reaching for those nearly as much as these two. I really love this one that I have on today. I think it's perfect with my eye look because it has a little bit of a gold reflect, which looks really nice with the greeny kind of gold chartreuse on my eyes, and the formula of these two are incredible. And then lastly, the little Aura and Out palette. Now, I like my eye look a lot. My issue with this palette is there's just not a lot of depth in the mattes. They're all very mid-tone. They're all very light, so it's very hard to get any depth in the outer corner. Now, you can see the orange, but this is not what I would typically do for an eye look. I really like to deepen up that outer corner. So for me, I would have to reach into another palette to get a cohesive look with the Aura and Out palette. And it's unlikely that I would do that. I would just find a palette that has everything I need in one. Do not like the pressed glitter in this palette at all. However, this color story is unique to my collection, and it does make me want to reach for it again. It does make me think, ooh, I could create a really pretty kind of mint green look. I could do a more orangey leaning look. So overall, the palette performs nicely. The mattes are very, very powdery, like I mentioned. The shimmers are very beautiful. Definitely applied better with a finger than a brush, but I like this palette. I'm just going to have to reach into another palette for me to have a cohesive look. Now, overall, I think my eye look is really beautiful. It's light and it's bright. So if you're not into deep dark looks or deep outer corners, you're probably going to really enjoy using this palette. I do like it. I am going to keep it in my collection. I will reach for it again. I just wish there was at least one deeper, darker matte. So overall, this was a really, really good testing new makeup. I liked everything. I like the other two lip products. I just honestly prefer these two. The blush, the palette, and the setting spray are all really, really good. I'm happy with what I got in my Colourpop Valentine's Day mystery box. And like I said, I'll link all of the products down below for you. Let me know what you think of my look. Let me know what you think of the products, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.